I don't mind if he gets along with China, because we're getting along with China very well. We have a very good relationship. In fact, the magnets, which is a little complex piece of material, but the magnets are coming out, very well. They're sending them in record numbers. We're getting along with China very well, and I don't mind if the president dealt with China. If that's meant, because I think he has to do what's right for his country. I've always said, make the Philippines great again. Do whatever you need to do, but you're dealing with China wouldn't bother me at all.
President Trump, as you saw here on Newsline a short time ago, hosting the president of the Philippines, talking trade, but also talking, of course, a little bit about security. As far as trade, also a little bit of news. We're learning U.S. trade reps will meet with their Chinese counterparts as well. And also this new piece of information coming in that Sweden will host continued trade negotiations between the U.S. and China next week. Positive that both countries wish to meet in Sweden to seek mutual understanding there. Well, for the third time in 3 months, negotiating teams, Russia and Ukraine, will be meeting. It's happening tomorrow in Turkey. On the agenda are new prisoner exchanges and the return of kidnapped Ukrainian minors. Also a top-level meeting between President Zelensky and Putin, face to face. Unfortunately, though, expectations remain low on what is the primary reason for the talks, and that is a ceasefire agreement between Russia and Ukraine. Pleased to bring in our panel now, Brigadier General Blaine Holt, former Combat C-17 commander, former U.S. Deputy Military Representative to NATO, and also a Newsmax contributor, and Fred Fleitz, former NSC Chief of Staff for the Trump administration, currently the Vice Chair of the America First Policy Institute. Gentlemen, a pleasure to have you. Okay, so let's start with this. They're talking. This is the third time they're at the table. Putin may be stalling here, but there's also more heightened questions about sanctions. There's more of this 50-day deadline. I'll start with you, Fred. What do you expect to happen? And do you have any optimism for a potential of a ceasefire agreement to come out of this meeting tomorrow?
First of all, talk is always good. When the two parties are talking, that means there's hope for a negotiated solution. They are going to talk about a prisoner exchange, also a good move. There aren't any indications right now that Putin is interested in a negotiated settlement. I think we're going to have to get closer to the day when Trump puts these tough sanctions on Putin, and it may take time. But we have to be very glad that there is this dialogue going on, because it does leave the door open for negotiations that may go somewhere eventually. I don't expect any progress this week.
On the military front, Blaine, Moscow said it did not expect a miraculous breakthrough. We know that there are Patriot missile systems now being supplied to Ukraine. So a lot of this through NATO then over. But Russia and the drones over Kyiv, they keep hitting so hard there. There's no let up on the battlefield. We go back to what we've been talking about. It's a land grab for Russia before they get to any talks.
Right. So that's the imperative, and time is running out. And the 50 days, got it. The sanctions takes time, got it. But that's not what's really happening on the battlefield. There is beyond Kiev, the town of Pokrovsk on the contact line, which is in the center of the front. It is a major key in logistics and hubs, and the Russians are breaking through those lines right now as we are talking. They're in downtown Pokrovsk with sabotage teams, and the only reason that they're able to achieve this on the ground is because of the manpower states of the Ukrainian army. And so this envelopment is going to really, really hurt the Ukrainians on the ground. The tactics here now matter hour by hour, day by day. And I think what Russia's going to be laying out tomorrow is what their future military plans are within this 50-day time structure. I really hope that they can start to think about, okay, how do we get to some sort of freeze, or how do we get to some sort of cessation, because the butchery is only going to escalate from here.